Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of WWE Backlash 2025. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. If you're watching live, leave your comments on the show. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And if you're watching on demand, feel free to post a comment on the YouTube page. NoDQ.com/YouTube. Now, let's get to it. 5 matches, short and sweet, just under 3 hours. I love these 5-match PLEs. I remember the NXT Black and Gold takeovers, 5 matches. They were as close to perfect as you could ask for. I think that 3-hour shows really fit very nicely in this era. Not too long, gets to the point, no filler. I'm a big fan. Let's talk about this show. Was Backlash like other PLEs we've seen at around 3 hours? Let's break it down. We opened up with a fatal 4-way match for the Men's United States Championship. Jacob Fatu defending his championship against Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. As you might expect, the crowd was very much behind Jacob Fatu. They were chanting for him. You had Knight going after Fatu, Priest going after McIntyre, but then we had all 4 interacting with each other through the match. Each guy got in his own offense on the other 3. And then they brawled outside the ring for a bit. And then back in the ring, McIntyre and Fatu went at it. The crowd definitely enjoyed those two going back and forth. Then McIntyre took out LA Knight with the Claymore. However, Damian Priest pulled out the referee, and then Priest and McIntyre fought into the crowd. They ended up on top of one of those production crates, and of course, they were conveniently 2 tables below. Priest gave McIntyre a South of Heaven chokeslam off the platform through the tables below. Hopefully, McIntyre is okay, because there were reports that he was being checked out by officials. His head may have missed the table and hit the floor. Best wishes to McIntyre. You had the medical staff out there, and it was down to LA Knight one-on-one with Jacob Fatu. Then LA Knight was going to put Fatu through the announce table with the elbow drop off the top to the outside, but then Solo Sikoa pulled Fatu off the table. LA Knight went after Solo, but then we had a surprise debut. He claimed he was in LA, but he did make it to St. Louis. Former New Japan Pro Wrestling star Jeff Cobb showed up and attacked LA Knight. He got a good pop, a surprisingly good pop from the WWE crowd. I've only seen him wrestle in AEW. He did do a couple of matches in AEW, but beyond that, I really am not familiar with him whatsoever. But he's been in New Japan for many years, and he did a lot of indies. I know he did PWG. Jeff Cobb officially in WWE now, part of this storyline with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. He's 42, so I'm not surprised they just debuted him on the main roster. No NXT or anything. He's a veteran. No need for him to be in NXT. And with all this interference, it was elementary for Fatu. Although Fatu was surprised, not really sure what the hell was going on here, but he took advantage of the situation, got LA Knight back in the ring, and pinned him with the moonsault. He got the win. No surprise here that LA Knight lost, but we had a nice little surprise. Jeff Cobb making his debut. add some more intrigue to this Solo Sikoa and Fatu storyline. I mean, I really feel now more than ever, we are going to get a face turn from Jacob Fatu. Fatu was confused. He walked out, not really sure what to make of the whole situation. Solo has his new right-hand man. He has Jeff Cobb, and now Fatu will possibly go off on his own. Yeah, Tama Tonga is hurt. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are both injured right now. So now they bring in Jeff Cobb as maybe the new henchman for Solo Sikoa. Very good match here to open up the show. I like the surprise. Backlash was off to a strong start. We had Lyra Valkyria defending her women's Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch. Very competitive match here between these two women. Lyra had an early start doing some submission holds, and then Becky knocked her off the top rope. Becky worked over Lyra for a while, and then Becky was also doing the heel shtick, taunting Lyra's fiance, who was at ringside for this match. And then Lyra got fired up, but Becky kicked out of a superplex. And then Becky tried to cheat with a roll-up. She grabbed the rope, but the referee caught her. And then Lyra came off the top with a leg drop and then tried a moonsault, but Becky got her knees up. They went back and forth some more, and Becky started to get frustrated. She could not put Lyra away. Lyra kicked out of the manhandle slam. Becky tried to bring a chair into the ring, and then Becky exposed the turnbuckle in the corner, and then she hit Lyra with another manhandle slam. Lyra, though, kicked out, and then Becky tried to use the exposed turnbuckle. Referee intervened, and then as the referee was trying to reattach the turnbuckle pad, Lyra took out Becky with the Nightwing. Referee was distracted, came in to make the count, but the delay allowed Becky to kick out, and then Becky targeted Lyra, gouged her in the eyes, went for another pin, but Lyra, despite being blinded, managed to counter and get the 1-2-3 victory. Many would call it an upset victory, even though Lyra was the champion going into this match. Betting odds had Becky winning. I picked Becky, and the crowd, they were into Becky at the beginning, but as the match went on, they did get behind Lyra. Lyra picks up the win. Becky immediately attacks her after the match, beats the crap out of her, puts on the manhandles, or the disarmor, I should say, puts on the disarmor submission. Officials run down, and eventually they're able to pull Becky off of Lyra. Shout out to good old JM Jeff Meacham, who sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff says, watching you and the Peacock recap. Jeff says he enjoyed the show. He enjoyed the whole show. Main event was a beautiful cluster F of cliches. We'll get to the main event in just a little bit. Jeff very much enjoyed the show, and I did see a lot of comments from people that really liked Backlash. This was a strong match. I was surprised by the champion retaining here, but you know what? It worked out well for Lyra. This elevated her, made her seem like a big deal. Successful title defense against Becky Lynch, and further cements Becky as a heel. I thought it was well done. I thought it was a really strong match, and Lyra, for the first time, feels like a credible champion. I think that this match definitely elevated her as a star in WWE. I say thumbs up for this one. And I like the fact that people weren't expecting Lyra to retain. Next up, we had Dominik Mysterio versus Penta. Dominik defending the men's IC title against Penta. There were some chants, and I think they were for Dominik. I know Penta has his fans, but Dominik's not getting universally booed like he used to. The crowd is really warming up to Dirty Dom, and they were chanting his name. It was a hot crowd, and I give credit to St. Louis. They were hot for the whole show, not just the main event. Dominik was dominant early on. He did this suicide dive into a DDT on the outside, and then he dominated Penta for a while. Then Penta made a comeback, did a top rope crossbody, and Dominik regained the upper hand using Liv Morgan's Oblivion. And then they were both on the apron. Penta did the Mexican Destroyer to Dominik on the apron, and things were looking good for Penta. But then we had interference. We had the shenanigans. Carlito showed up, and then Finn Balor grabbed the chair, but Balor, he was supposed to just take a shot at Penta, but he went and got the chair instead. And this time that he was doing this, allowed the referee to turn around, and Judgment Day was caught in the act. They were ejected, but Balor was resisting, leaving. And as this was happening, El Grande Americano interfered and used his loaded mask, attacking Penta. Dominik then hit the frog splash and got the 1-2-3 victory. Lots of interference here, but a fun match. You continue the Judgment Day storyline with the potential split between Balor and the group, and also you set up something with Penta and El Grande Americano. Fun match here. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to that Dominik babyface turn. That's all I got to say. And yes, I do wonder if we'll see El Grande Americano end up in AAA for that Worlds Collide event. That show on June 7th, same day as Money in the Bank. Imagine if El Grande Americano was at Worlds Collide and then Chad Gable was on Money in the Bank. There you go. That would be interesting. Not trying to imply that they're the same person or anything. I just thought it would be interesting. All right, let's talk about Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This was another fun match. Michael Cole was clear on commentary that he was going to be biased. He wanted Gunther to pay for what happened, what Gunther did to himself and McAfee. McAfee held his own in this. He was using his athleticism, his speed. He was taking the blows from Gunther. He dodged a chop, and then Gunther patted McAfee on the head, so McAfee got a little bit too fired up, and Gunther took advantage. He chopped McAfee a bunch of times, but McAfee kept fighting back. McAfee was chopping him back, and Gunther got the upper hand, and the crowd was chanting, "You tapped out." And then McAfee made a comeback, and he did several of the football punt kicks. Not the Randy Orton punt kicks, but, just your standard football punts. And then Gunther kicked out. McAfee did a super kick, but then McAfee tried another one, and it was blocked. And then Gunther powerbombed him. Michael Cole left the announce desk as Gunther put on a Boston Crab, and he tried to motivate McAfee. Gunther threw Cole in the ring and was going to attack him, but McAfee saved Cole. And then Gunther tried to suplex McAfee from the apron back into the ring, and we got the old WrestleMania 5 spot where, Bobby Heenan grabbed the Ultimate Warrior's leg, and Rick Rude fell on top of him and got the 1-2-3. Same thing here. Cole grabbed Gunther's foot. McAfee fell onto Gunther, but Gunther did manage to kick out. And then Gunther regained the upper hand. He put on the sleeper hold. McAfee got to his feet in the hold and almost broke out, but then they fell back to the mat and McAfee passed out. Gunther was declared your winner. And after the match, this was interesting. This was something I wasn't expecting. I figured maybe McAfee would be stretchered out or something, but afterwards, McAfee got to his feet and Gunther actually showed him some respect. The crowd gave McAfee a standing ovation. Gunther left. McAfee soaked in the crowd reactions. And what does this mean? This was not what I was expecting here. I thought we were going to see a turn not a turn, but just Gunther acting like he was going to be nice to McAfee and then just destroy him even further and maybe set up the Goldberg match. But perhaps they'll do that on another show, maybe Raw. We'll see what happens. Is it actually a Gunther babyface turn? I mean, I figured they were doing Gunther versus Goldberg. So I'm intrigued by this. I was not expecting this, and we'll see where it goes. We had our main event of the evening. John Cena versus Randy Orton. As you might expect, both guys got very loud reactions for their entrances. Crowd was singing Randy Orton's song. It was wonderful. John Cena came out there and was getting the split reaction, although we did get a lot of cheers from John Cena. Fun match here. Another fun match. We got some of their old classic moves in this one. Cena went for the handshake but poked Orton in the eye. Orton then did his own eye poke, and Cena had to regroup on the outside. Lots of crowd chants. They were doing the "You can't wrestle, yes he can" at Cena. And they did their signature moves, 5-knuckle shuffle. And they did the spot where Cena goes for the AA. Orton is doing the RKO at the same exact time. So they both hit each other with their finishing move at the same time. And then they got up. Cena hit an AA. Orton kicked out. Orton came back with the RKO out of nowhere. Cena rolled away. And then Orton went for the punt. Cena avoided it. AA to Orton. Orton kicked out. And then at this point, we got all of the shenanigans. This was like Jeff Jarrett TNA as far as the shenanigans went. Referee got knocked down. Cena hit an AA. And then Cena went for the WWE Championship. He was going to use it as a weapon, but Orton countered with an RKO. However, the referee was down, got up, went for the count. But, of course, with the delay, Cena was able to kick out, and the crowd chanted bullshit. They were not happy with this. Match continued, and then they were on the outside of the ring. The referee, I think it was a second referee, got sent into the steel steps accidentally. Orton then gave Cena an AA on the Spanish announce table. Orton pulled out another table, gave Cena another AA on that table, brought him back in the ring. But then when a new referee ran down, Cena kicked out. And then Cena tried to use the championship again. Orton dodged it. And the third referee, got taken down. So that was the third ref bump in this match. Very much like a TNA match with Jeff Jarrett back from like 2005, 2006. And then you had Nick Aldis out there, Shane Helms, Jamie Noble. They were all checking on the referee that got hit with the title. Orton was pissed off, so he took all of them out with RKOs. Then Orton was going to finish off John Cena with the punt, but then R-Truth ran out there. R-Truth saved John Cena, shielded him. R-Truth got hit with the RKO, but that allowed Cena to take out Orton with a low blow, And then Cena was finally able to hit Orton with the championship. One of the referees recovered, got in the ring, counted out Orton. John Cena retains your WWE champion. Retains your WWE championship. It was definitely one of those matches that had all the interference and bells and whistles and stuff, but it was entertaining. It was fun. We'll see what happens with R-Truth. I'm guessing Cena will betray him and finally beat the shit out of him. After the match was over, this was interesting. So after the match was over, John Cena got on the mic, said that he was needing some competition, said he didn't need the fans. He held up his championship, and I thought this was setting up something. I thought we were going to get somebody coming out there at the end. It was very odd to me. Like, why even do the promo? They pulled up the credits, and then I'm thinking, okay, they're doing that gimmick with the credits, and something's going to happen. But nothing. There was nothing. Cena walked out of the ring, and he looked very sad, maybe showing his real emotions here. The crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Cena." After all that booing, they were chanting, "Thank you, Cena." He walked to the back, and that was it. I was a little surprised that they didn't just end the show with Cena winning and cut it there. Like, the whole post-match thing made me think we were getting some kind of a return or something. Is John Cena slowly turning back? I don't think so, but it was predictable with Cena winning, and they did do a lot of the interference and whatnot, but I still liked the match. I still enjoyed it. Building Nexus sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, how hard will it be for John Cena to get heat in his last match? He'll probably be cheered unless the fans just want to play along for the last match. I mean, he might be a babyface. Apparently, it was announced that his last match will be in December in Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Garden. That was on a news report this evening. So there you have it. That will be Cena's last match, and I suspect he'll be cheered whether he's back as a babyface or not by that point. Caleb thinks he's slowly turning back, which I don't think it's going to happen right away, but I could see, like, over time he may go back in that direction. I mean, I fully suspect he'll turn back before he retires. All in all, I think Backlash was a great show. I don't think it was at the level of Elimination Chamber. I mean, it would be really hard to top that one. But as far as B pay-per-views go, not really too much to criticize. Every match was really strong. I mean, there were very few weak points at any time during this premium live event. Like I said at the start, under 3 hours, 5 matches, every match delivered. Can't complain too much. I give it a strong 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the show. Easy watch. I'm a big fan of these 5-match pay-per-views. I don't think you need more than that. I mean, WWE doesn't have to charge $50 for a pay-per-view, so why not just do 5 matches? Put 5 really good matches on there. It's a fun, easy to watch 2.5 to 3 hour show. I liked it. Was it pay-per-view of the year? Probably not, but it was still very strong. I enjoyed it. That's all I got to say about Backlash. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm not going 9 out of 10 because I think the main event was a little bit overbooked, and I would have liked some sort of a shocking ending, like somebody showing up when they did that whole deal with the Cena promo. But yeah, 8 is still great. I still think overall it was a great show. Thank you guys for watching. The Shanti says stick to no DQ, sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Shanti. I appreciate it. Shanti says, already watched it live via Netflix. It was 10 seconds ahead of Peacock's live. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'd have to use a VPN to watch it on Netflix, but I don't think I'm going to do that. You have to go through some big ordeal to get a VPN working on a TV, and I don't really want to watch it on a computer screen. So it's going to be Peacock for me, but if you can watch it on Netflix, I mean, by all means, seems like a slightly faster way to watch it as opposed to Peacock or go live. When you watch it in person, it's like 90 seconds ahead of the Peacock feed. I had to be careful whenever I post things when I'm in attendance live. I got to make sure I wait a little bit, because there have been times I've inadvertently spoiled people because I'm posting something on X, but for people watching at home, they're on like a 90-second delay. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest fallout from Backlash. And don't forget, we got the No DQ review this coming Tuesday, and also coming soon, a new series, the No DQ Roundtable. By the end of the month, we will have the No DQ Roundtable. Stay tuned for that. Take care, everybody. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.